It is lucky day 13. We lost Molly. She had to get 21-day challenge tattooed on her lower back. But we've got Koya. She's an amazing teacher here at LA, and she's also a holistic health coach and the creator of Get Loved Up.
Yes.
And she is going to show us how to love up our wrists to start class today. So come onto your hands and knees. I want you to get your blanket or your towel and put it under your knees, just to give your knees a little love. And grab a block and put it between your upper thighs, because you know I like to turn on your upper thighs. So block between your thighs, squeeze it, whatever width you like, and then hands right under your shoulders, and then shift your shoulders back a little bit. Okay, so shoulders back a little bit. It's gonna make it a little easier. You're gonna lift the heel of your hands away from the floor, and right away you're gonna feel this in your wrists and forearms. Super good forearm and wrist strengthening exercise for Chaturanga, for upward facing dog, for the handstand we will be visiting next week. So I distract you while you strengthen your wrists. We're gonna do just about another 10 seconds. If you can shift your weight forward, you're gonna strengthen your wrists even more. Ideally, you're shaking here as your sleepy forearms and wrists wake up. Stay with it. 5, 4, use your belly, squeeze the block. That's gonna help your lower body strengthen your wrists and forearms. 2, 1. Good, put the heel of your hands down. And we'll just do a little counter stretch by coming onto the fists. Make 2 fists and do a little cat-cow or a little undulation thing that'll warm up your spine even as you counter stretch your nice, strong wrists and forearms. Super good. And then turn your hands out. Take a couple rounds of cow and cat that way, hands turned out. If you're really open in your wrists, you can turn your hands all the way back so your fingers face your knees. That's pretty intense. You can give it a go and then opt for the turn out. And then turn your hands in so your fingers face one another, counter stretch that way. And again, a little cow and cat or a little round and round, side to side. Warm up your spine, warm up your neck. Excellent. And then finally, hands forward, plank pose. Good. Shift forward and back a couple times in plank. And then we're going to revisit our 2 transitions to the floor. So remember, the first transition is knees, chest, chin, Ashtangasana. So drop the knee, squeeze the block, pull your chest forward. As you lower the chest, shoulder heads away from the floor. Beautiful, Koya. Drop your chin, take a breath in and out, scoop your belly. You don't want to feel this in the lower back. And then pull your chest through, push your shins back, cobra pose. 1 big breath to pull the heart forward. Look down the tip of your nose if you're overworking the back of your neck. And then downward facing dog, squeeze your block. Second transition, plank pose. Fire your legs and belly. And then slowly, spine straight, Chaturanga. Then drop just your hips, cobra pose. Cobra pose, elbows are bent, pelvis and thighs are down. Keep squeezing your block. That's gonna help you remember to use your lower body. Outer shoulders hug in, hands pull your heart through. Look down the tip of your nose if you're overdoing it in the back of your neck. Downward facing dog. Excellent. Take the block aside. So we're going to warm up the front of the quads a little bit before we introduce another back bend. Lift your right leg. Step your right foot to your right thumb tip. Drop your left knee. And then crawl your right hand and your left hand up on your right thigh. This might be plenty. If you can bring a little more into the left quad, you'll bend your left knee and grab your left foot with your left hand. And then either way, you want to square your hips, square your chest. And as the pelvis starts to drop forward and down, wrap your right hip underneath you. Belly to spine. You'll feel this in the front of your left quad and the front of your left hip, but you don't want it to be too much. 2 more deep breaths. Hips square, chest square, breath deep. Ujjayi, if you can bring the little light restriction to the back of the throat. And then release your left foot and just frame your front foot and straighten both legs. Parsvatanasana. So in this Parsvatanasana today, I want you to stretch your left heel straight back and down. Don't cut the foot in so you get an extra bit of stretch to your left calf and Achilles. That's going to come to play in Warrior 1, which we're going to take later today. Big stretch through the back of your left leg. 1 more breath, hips square. Beautiful. Let's come right to downward facing dog and do the other side. Give your left leg a little lift. Step to your left thumb, you grab it and pull it there if you need to, drop your right knee, and then crawl your 2 hands up onto your left thigh or bend your right knee, grab the foot, and either way, you should be getting a really good stretch in the front of your right hip and thigh. Hips squaring, chest squaring, breath deep. In and out, back of the neck long, very beautiful. 2 more, in and out, in and out. Excellent. Release your right foot if you've caught it. Frame your front foot. Everyone, straighten both legs. You can always hop the back foot in a little or even a fair amount. But remember, today we're reaching the right heel straight back and down for a stretch to the right calf and Achilles. 2 more breaths. Left hip hugs in underneath you. 1 more, in and out. Rebend your left knee. Come back to downward facing dog and just take that blanket aside. Thank you. Come to plank, and then you choose knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. And you can always mix that up right into cobra pose. And then keep your chest lifted, and we're gonna add on pose number 36, Shalabhasana. So chest lifted, reach your arms back. First, just bring your hands to face the floor. You're gonna take the first half of the pose in the upper body. So pelvis down, belly lifting. Tailbone long, chest lifting. And then let's remember the external rotation of the arm bones. So spiral your thumbs up, palms out for a moment. And feel your biceps roll up and your triceps roll down. Hug your outer arm bones in. And then keep your chest and your upper arm bones rolling open. And just turn your hands to face the floor. Very beautiful. And then 3 more breaths, you're going to start to lift your legs. As you lift your legs, don't worry about going high, worry about going long. Your chest reaches forward, your legs reach back, and then you lift any amount away from the floor. But the priority, remember always, is the spine goes long. And then we add back bending, then we add a twist. But first you go for length. 1 more big breath in wherever you are. Lower to the floor. Slide your hands under your shoulders and press back for a moment to extended child's pose to lengthen your lower back. Big breath in. I wish I could step through your screen and sit on your butt to help you lengthen your lower back. You just have to do that by weighing your hips down to your heels and getting a really good counter stretch in your lower back. Take 1 more. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right, let's put that all together. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg back and up. Step your right foot to your right thumb tip. Grab it if you need to. Drop your back knee. Lift your arms. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, frame your front foot. Lift your hips. Parsvottanasana. Step forward into a flat back. Feet hip distance. Fold down your legs. Choose your transition to stand, hinging, or rounding. Breathe in. Tadasana as you exhale. Stand tall. Let's breathe. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Bend your knees, fold your chest to the thighs, put your hands on the floor. Big step back with your left leg. Simple twist open to your right as you exhale. Beautiful. Right hand down, inhale. Step to downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Here's your option. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the floor. Cobra pose, inhale. Reach your arms back. We're adding on Shalabhasana. Inhale, lift chest and legs. Go for length. Exhale, lower. Put your hands under your shoulders. Go through bent knees and we come to downward facing dog. Exhale, left side. Left leg lifts. Inhale. Step your left foot to your left thumb tip. Drop your back knee. Lift your arms. Anjaneyasana. Frame your front foot. Lift your hips. Parsvottanasana. Forward bending. Step forward into a flat back. Inhale. Fold down your legs. Hinge or round. Breathe in. Come to stand. Tadasana. Exhale. Nice. Reach up. Inhale. Bend your knees forward. Fold fingers to the floor. The right leg steps. Inhale. Simple twist to the left. Exhale. Left hand down. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra pose, inhale. Reach your arms back for Shalabhasana. And then lift and lengthen. Lower hands under shoulders. Extend back, downward facing dog, breathing in and out. Lovely. If you need a moment of rest, drop your knees and come to child's pose. We're gonna go into Sun Salutations A, Surya Namaskar A, which is pretty much the foundation of every flow class you'll ever take. I love the sequence, but I love a little warm-up before we get into it. So every day we'll always do a little bit of warm-up, a warm-up flow before we come into Sun A's. In the transition forward to Sun A, traditionally you jump or you float forward. You can always do a little step. You game for a little jumping, Koya?
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. So bend your knees and let's just give it a whirl and just give a little hop. Hoist your butt forward and bring your feet forward. Awesome. And if that wasn't working for you, you just do a little step. You come into a forward fold with your feet together in Sun Salutations. Unless you need to modify and you need the stability of feet-hip distance. To come up, ideally you come up with your legs straight. If you need a little bend in your knees, you bend your knees. Use your belly, use your legs. Hinge up, big breath in. Tadasana as you exhale. Good. Reach up, big breath. Then you fold. Legs straight if that's okay in your back. If you need to bend your knees, you bend your knees. And then lengthen your spine. We're taking this first one a little slow. When you lengthen your spine, if bringing your hands to your shins helps to lengthen the spine, hands to shins is fine. Nice long spine. Notice how this is Chaturanga. Your chest is in Chaturanga. Okay, we're gonna go right to Chaturanga from here. So your knees bend, let's step. Go forward with your chest, you're right in Chaturanga as your elbows bend. Then go ahead and drop your hips and come to Cobra. Traditionally, this is up dog. You go ahead and take an up dog if you're feeling really strong in your legs and open in your back. I love Cobra, you know that. So I'm gonna teach Cobra, but up dog is the traditional back bend in the sequence. Breath in for the back bend, and then you're in down dog. That's the sequence. We hold down dog for 5 breaths. We're gonna do it 2 times. You modify if you need to. Breathing in, breathing out. Bend your knees, lift your heels, thigh bones back as much as you need to get some of the weight out of the hands. Hips up and back. Big breath in, and then at the bottom of your breath, little hop or step. Lengthen your spine. Fold down your legs, power your legs, hinge up, legs straight, or a little bend in your knees if that's better for your back. Tadasana, and then reach right back up, big breath in. Forward fold, strong belly and legs. Lengthen your spine. Chaturanga starts here. Step. Elbows bend as your feet go back. Beautiful. Back bend, Cobra or up dog. That's an inhale. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 1 more of these bad boys. Inhale. Exhale. So you want to keep the breath really slow and rhythmic if you can. There's no stopping the breath, and there's no stopping the sequence until we rest in down dog or child's pose. 2 more. Inhale, firming the inner hands, firming the triceps back and in. 1 more big breath in. At the bottom of this breath, you step or jump. If you step, remember to switch your feet each time. Lengthen your spine. Fold down your legs, strong legs and belly, power you up to stand. Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Tadasana, exhale. Good, complete the cycle. Reach up, big breath. Forward fold, exhale. Long spine, Chaturanga starts here. Chaturanga, step, or eventually you might jump. Back bend, Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Very nice, big breaths. Excellent. The next sequence is Sun Salutations B. We're going to get in that tomorrow. But what we add in B's is Virabhadrasana 1. So let's get into our first Vira 1 and then we're ready to flow right into our B's tomorrow. So lift your right leg a little bit. That gives you a little momentum. Step to your right thumb tip and then we're going to take our time here. Come onto your fingertips. It gives your chest a little height. And then I want you to look underneath your own front body and look at your left foot. Your left foot is going to ground, but when you ground it, I want you to ground it a little bit to the left. So your heel stays in alignment with your hip, and then square your hips here. This is where opening the calf and Achilles comes in. Square your chest and square your hip. This is hard. Right hip back and in, chest square. Good. And then when you got your hips nice and square, lift your chest up right. Let's start with the arms shoulder distance overhead. It's hard to get your hips square in this pose, but you want to do your best for the health of your lower back. Right hip wrapping back and underneath you, left hip wrapping forward. Now, the modification for this pose, of course, is to lift the back heel and come into a high lunge. An awesome option if grounding the heel doesn't feel great in your lower back. Go ahead and drop the heel or keep it lifted, but try to wrap your left hip forward and your right hip back and in. And then you bring any amount of back bend to your upper chest that feels good, or you stay more or less upright if it doesn't feel great in your lower back when you open the upper chest. Let's take one more big breath in. Maybe even look up. Exhale your hands to the floor, lift your back heel, just come right back to down dog. Take a breath in, realign your feet, hang your head. One more big breath in and out. Don't forget your inner hands, lift your left leg, step your left foot to your left thumb tip. Good, come up onto your fingertips for a moment, look underneath yourself, see your right foot and hop it a little to the right as you ground it. Then come forward a little bit if you feel tight in your lower back and hips here. And then square your hips, then come upright. If grounding this back heel pulls this hip back so much that it feels crummy in your lower back, don't worry about it. You can always lift that heel. You want to wrap your right hip forward, your left hip back and underneath you. Big stretch for the front of your right hip. The chest lifts out of your hips. And then if you can reach your chest forward and your shoulders back a little for an upper chest back bend, great. If not, no worries. It's a big stretch for the front of the hip, really strengthening for the legs. Take one more big breath in, maybe look up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. One vinyasa to clear this all out. Plank pose, inhale. Chaturanga, slow cobra pose, inhale. Downward facing dog, and then bring your feet to touch. All right, quick pigeon, just because you earned it real well. Lift your right leg, bring your right shin forward, and we're going to take 5 breaths, crawling the chest forward. If you want to put a block underneath your right seat, walk the hands forward, chest long, and breathe. Go ahead and put your hands on the floor. Try and relax your neck. If you need to put a prop underneath your forehead or your chest, you can always take your blanket if you want to use your blanket. 3 more breaths. Big breath in, big breath out. Try and relax your neck and shoulders. 2 more deep breaths. Breath all the way into your hips. Do your best to relax your neck and shoulders and take 1 more huge breath, even down into the left foot. Good, and then walk your hands back, straighten your arms. You're going to lift your butt up a little bit and you're going to slide your back leg underneath your front leg. Put your butt down or put a block underneath your seat. A blanket works too. And then the left heel's outside the right hip and the right foot is going to step down with the knee up. This is a pose called Matsyendrasana, king of the fishes. And we're going to twist to the right. It's a lovely twist. The right hand's going to come around. And I like to just hug my right thigh into the chest with the left arm. Eventually, you can bring the elbow outside the thigh. You can bind this pose. But for now, we want to prioritize heavying the right hip down, squaring the hips, and going for length and then twist. Go ahead and hook this elbow right outside that knee. That's right, and then hug it in. And that gives you a little bit of hip opening too. Let's take 2 more breaths. Lengthening your spine on your inhale. Ground your right seat down and twist with your exhale. Good. 1 more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out and turn, turn, turn. Excellent. And then just 1 breath to counter twist left. And then just unwind the way you came in. Lean forward, take any props aside. Come through downward facing dog and bring your feet together. Good, left side. Left leg lifts a little, left shin forward, and set up for pigeon pose on the left side. Propping the left seat if you need to, or just walking your arms forward. 5 deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Do your best to relax your neck and shoulders. Big breath in. Deep breath out. Great. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Big breath all the way through the right leg, so deep you reach the foot. Exhale, one more. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, walk your arms back up towards straight. Lift your butt up enough to slide your back leg under your front leg. Prop up your butt. Good. So the left knee is up, the left foot is down outside the right thigh. The right arm wraps around the front of the right shin, or the elbow can hook outside the thigh. The left fingers stabilize to help you lengthen, and then you breathe. Inhale for length, exhale to turn. Good. 2 more deep breaths. Left hip heavy, turn with your breath out. 1 more. Stamp your left foot down, lengthen, and then turn. Beautiful. Counter twist to the right, 1 breath. And this time to unwind, you're just going to take any props aside, bring your legs straight forward, shake your legs out, give them a little shake, 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 and then come to lie down on your back. Step your feet down, bend your knees. You know it, bridge pose. Not for long, just a realign, open the chest, lift your chest, wrap your shoulders underneath you. Good. Rock from side to side. Work your feet well. Inner thighs ground. Tailbone lengthens. Chest lifts. Press the back of your head down. Good. 2 more breaths. In and out. Stabilize your legs. Back of the head presses down. Chin releasing away from your chest just a little. Very beautiful. 1 more full breath. In. Lift your chest. Slowly, slowly unwind. And then hug your legs into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. And last pose, happy baby pose. Inner or outer feet. Hands can go inside the legs or outside the legs. Rock a little from side to side if that feels good. Good. Remember, you want to try and work your arms, but not your shoulders. Legs as close to the floor as you can get them. If it feels good, do a couple times, straighten the legs about part way and then bring them down and straighten a little. Really nice for the inner groin, outer hamstring. 1 more big breath. Good. Last hug of the knees, big breath in your nose. Out your mouth. And stretch your body wide on the floor. Make yourself comfortable. Pad up if you need to. Shavasana. Let your breath come a little deeper, and then go ahead and stay right where you are if you're enjoying resting on the floor, or slowly transition up to a comfortable seat. Take a big breath in your nose to begin. Clearing breath out your mouth. Seal the lips, inhaling through the nose. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing, softening, relaxing, floating. Out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing, surrendering. And then you go ahead and continue like this on your own as long as you can. Or just lie on your back and rest. Rest the breath, rest the body as long as you can. Namaste.